Good Monday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And now, folks, we understand why Jerry doesn't want to play anybody. CeeDee Lamb's down now as well. Dale Hillstreet's here, everybody.
Good morning, Stephen. Have you recovered from all your tweeting this weekend?
No.
You were a tweeting machine.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, Dale.
I mean, your thumbs have got to be a little sore.
Some of it was on keyboard. Not all of it was on the phone. When there's misspellings, that's the phone.
Oh, because your fingers hit.
No, it's my phone changes stuff. I don't get it.
I think maybe you have big fingers and you hit wrong letters.
Always blame the phone.
Yeah.
Always blame the phone.
I would have expected you to come in here fully rested, didn't have to travel, didn't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah, but it's a busy week this week too.
Oh, we're already looking forward to this week. Huh?
Oh, I've been thinking about this week since last week, man. What a week this is going to be. Thursday night, got to drive across town, 5:15 kickoff for Cardinals Seahawks. And then Saturday night, it's a 6 p.m. kickoff for ASU, TCU, Friday night.
Oh, that's right. Thursday, Friday. But then you get the weekend off.
Yeah, I got some stuff going on this weekend. I got to tell you what we're doing. What we're doing starting next Monday.
Am I involved in this?
Well, if you come here, you're going to be at the wrong place. Let's put it that way.
Oh, no.
The deal has been struck.
No.
So, what do you mean, no?
I mean, my drive's another 15 minutes?
No, it's 5 minutes at the most.
Please.
I've driven it like 7 times now.
Jeez.
If anything, I'm making my drive worse. Why do I always placate to you guys?
I mean, the last thing I heard you say was, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, well.
Evidently it's been talked about?
No, we got to talk about it.
Wow.
Might be moving studios here, do it. It's an opportunity, Dale. It's hard to pass up for now. Worst case, we just come on back.
My goodness.
How was your Friday night? Red Mountain? Who won that game?
Red Mountain ended up skunking South Point.
I don't even know what that word means, but they won.
Well, South Point didn't score.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's hard to win when you don't score.
Is that just Red Mountain being that good, or is that Tucson South Point not playing well?
That is the question. Red Mountain's still undefeated.
And they look good. They've looked good all year long.
And you just wonder how good that is. And where does South Point? I mean, South Point that I remember and know.
They're still considered good, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But I don't know after Friday night. But Red Mountain put it on pretty good.
Red Mountain's that team where nobody's really giving them credit because of who they play, right? And you got Bashes of the world, Centennial. I saw that Centennial Queen Creek. Wow.
Centennial look a little different than Queen Creek.
They look pretty good.
Yeah.
They're finding their footing after that first loss here by them. But Queen Creek didn't look terrible either, and things. So, I mean, it's just it's interesting. And Red Mountain might be that team that people are like, they haven't played anybody yet. And then they're just going to be there at the end. It might be something to watch. I agree with you on that.
They, again, a nice crowd, nice night. It was fun to get back into the action.
Weather was almost perfect.
Yes.
Wasn't hot, wasn't cold. I bought a couple of waters. I had to force down the second one because I didn't feel like I needed it. On top of it there and everything. But, so Centennial back on its run. Queen Creek's problem is they got Basha this week. At Basha, no less.
Basha is in a different level than most all other schools.
This year, yes.
Yeah, I think, the last couple of years.
But they didn't win it all last year, did they?
Well, they lost to Liberty.
Exactly. And Centennial was the runners-up on top of it. Centennial has a couple linemen that I swear to God, they look like NFL linemen, Dale.
One thing, and I don't know, because I knew Richard Taylor really, really well. His son now, Andrew, is coaching at Centennial. Richard was a coach there for 30 years.
Yes.
From day one at Centennial when they opened to last year, he was head coach.
Yep.
And the offensive linemen that came through there over the last 20 years, I'll say,
Yeah.
they're built different. They hit different. Some of them don't look the part. They look a little sloppy.
There's a couple of them. I want to say the center, where you're like, okay, that center's not very good. And then next thing you know, he's blowing off the line and just creating holes, and you're like, all right, that guy's really good.
Yeah. but they've always been bigger than you just notice them when they walk on the field.
I swear to God, that guy had to have been 6'8", 50. Had to have been like 6'8". 270, 280 pounds, and he was just towered over everybody.
Every time we go to a Centennial game, I'd look down where the offensive lineman's warming up, and I'd say, Richard, what's in your water over here on the west side?
Seriously. It was, and I've seen that a couple times, while seeing Mesa had a couple huge offensive linemen that were just bigger than everybody else.
Right.
And they just created holes and everything. But then Centennial took it to another level where I was even like, what in the world is up with those two guys?
When you see kids these days that are 6'5", 6'6", 275 to 300 pounds, and they can move.
That's the thing.
A lot of them are athletic.
He was blocking secondary guys down the field, and it was just not just him. I mean, you got to give credit to all five guys on that front line as well. And then they had a running back 30. They had a running back 1 that was like shifty, where it's just hard to bring him down. And then they brought in a big, I call him a bowling ball, just this big, stocky kid that would go in there and just run everybody over. It was like, what? Queen Creek stayed in the game. I mean, Queen Creek's problem is they just have a young quarterback. I think he's a sophomore because Tate Reynolds is out. And I don't know. I don't know how Tate Reynolds normally stands, but he's definitely standing gingerly on one of his legs.
Hey.
So I don't know. I've heard rumors of what is up with him and everything, but yeah, it was an interesting game there. Red Mountain, I think, is the secret team coming up, and then your boy over there at Scottsdale Christian Academy. Boy, that would have been an exciting homecoming.
Well, you know what? I told the story. It's kind of funny because I was on the board at SCA for 5 years back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Now, why on earth anybody would want me to be on the board? That's a whole nother conversation.
They just want your kids to keep paying for schooling there, Dale.
Yeah. They were very young at that time. But the first year when I was on the board, our first meeting was the Monday after a Friday homecoming game. And at that time, we had an athletic director who was also the basketball coach who didn't mind seeing the football team struggle.
Yeah, because he wanted all the
And now I was not involved in the football program as of yet. I'm in the stands, homecoming, young daughters at the school, and back then at 42-0, the game was stopped. The game
really?
was over. It wasn't running clock. They picked the ball up and you went home.
All right.
It's 35-0.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We should go back to that.
35-0 the visitors, with a minute left in the second quarter, and they're on the 5-yard line, ready to score again. And the other coach, being the kind gentleman that he is, I don't remember what team we were playing, took 2 knees so SCA could have homecoming. Otherwise, the game would have been called in the last minute of the second quarter.
Yeah, that's nice of them. Yeah, so you can have your halftime.
And then we meet on Monday, and I was new on the board. There's like 3 new board members. You go around the table. What are you here for? What do you hope to get accomplished? And it comes to me, and I go, the only thing I want to get accomplished is we win homecoming. I don't care if we have to play the Arizona School for the Deaf and Blind in August when it's 110.
Don't get blown out in homecoming.
SCA wins homecoming. Yeah. I've always said this, as a high school kid, if you show up to 3 away games and they're all homecoming games, you suck. Terrible. You suck.
Yes. It's that way in college, too.
Another homecoming?
It's that way in college, too. You look at your schedule and go, what's the worst team on our schedule here? That's the one we're going to go with.
Oh, my God.
You never have Arizona ASU as a homecoming game.
No.
You know what I mean?
You don't.
So, yeah.
But SCA's homecoming obviously was very well celebrated.
66-3, I think it was. Yeah.
So
Yeah, or 63-3. Yeah. Somebody wasn't upgrading Max Prep, so I couldn't follow it
really?
as closely. But I've got the game film, and it's funny, man, because I got the game film. I've been kind enough to be given that this year to follow it and watch it, and it's funny. It's like halfway through the first quarter, and all I get is like the snap of the ball. It's like snap of the ball, end of the play, clip off, next snap of the ball. And even then, like halfway through the second quarter, I'm like, is this done yet? Like, can I start fast forwarding here? Now, in all seriousness, they have Chino coming up, Chino Valley this weekend. They're good, so their tests are coming at the end of the season this year and things like that. So yeah, so that's the Scottsdale Christian Academy, your Red Mountain over there, looking good. Gonna be shocking. Who do you have this week? You know off the top of your head? Probably not.
it's at Hamilton, I think.
Oh man, Hamilton.
Hamilton's,
this year.
yeah. I mean,
You sure they did a Brophy on Friday night?
Yeah.
So is Brophy just bad this year? Because that's their second loss. Is
Second big loss.
Yeah, he's to the good teams. Is Brophy just bad with all that talent, or is it just they aren't good enough for the best teams out there? What's his name? Fitzgerald, Larry's kid. He can't tackle that kid. He just goes and gets the ball.
Centennial at Hamilton.
That's what it is. Yeah, they're gonna see Centennial this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, get to Centennial.
Pay attention to those offensive linemen, man. 57. Go meet that kid.
Here's the thing about Brophy, and I love the head coach Jason Jewell. One of the nicest guys you're going to meet in high school football.
Maybe that's the problem, Dale.
Seems like Brophy has constantly underachieved.
They don't. Yeah, when I was a kid, Brophy would get to the pinnacle and then fall just short.
Yeah, and I've seen him.
I think it's still the case.
And it's changed since you were a kid, since I was a kid, or was even in high school. The fact that there's a lot of professional athletes who send their kids to Brophy.
Well, when I was there, they recruited. So we lost a really good running back at Dobson one year because he went to Brophy.
Well, you'd go anywhere.
Went to school at Brophy.
You would go anywhere with Dobson, wouldn't you, if you were a decent athlete?
They could recruit back then. They could get kids to go there when nobody else could.
Yes, because there are no school boundaries and
Yes.
and all that. But
Back then they had scholarships. I don't know if they still do. Do they?
I think
They'd pay for kids.
I'm not
to go
gonna.
there.
I'm not gonna say 100%. But if you were asking me if I had to bet my house,
Why would they get rid of them?
I would say that.
Yeah. Why would you get rid of them? Yeah.
But they seem to have so much talent, but yet underachieve.
Nice Dobson dig, by the way. Nice, solid. Yeah, that's the thing, and it's it's with all the talent and everything, and that we're talking high profile guys.
Yeah.
Going to Division I schools, and that's what I was telling like Autumn, and we were sitting with some Queen Creek parents that kids play on the team.
I saw
and
no
stuff like
pictures
that.
this weekend.
Oh, well, blame Autumn for that. I don't do the Facebook photos.
Come on, Autumn, let's go. Unless you looked through them all and said, no, Steve, no.
Only picture I took on Friday night was Ethan was working the gates there with ROTC. So I took a picture of him and his, the casual, whatever the casual uniform's called.
Was that the that's called utilities?
He's called like OCPs or something
No,
like
it's
that.
called utilities.
Okay, well, he
You know
called
what?
it. I've never heard him say the word utilities.
Yeah. Well, you don't listen.
But he was working the gates. He was the one that let the people onto the field over there, the marching band on the field for halftime. And I told him, just keep the marching band off the field, would you? Remember when marching bands used to be huge for these schools?
Yeah.
Like, what happened to marching band?
No.
They're tiny now. Like, I mean, SCA has got like what 7 people on there. You guys think I'm kidding, But that's a tiny school.
Yeah.
But then you go to these big schools like Desert Ridge. It's like, where's the rest of them at?
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
What's
it
happened
is
to marching
interesting.
bands?
Well, actually, Red Mountain had a pretty
Did they?
decent sized band.
I mean, Queen Creek's isn't tiny, but it's not like it was when I went to school.
No.
When you had like 7 trumpets and stuff, like you're lucky to have 3 or 4 now.
I remember Saguaros when I was in high school. I mean, there were probably 250 kids in the band.
Yeah, like they literally you had to try out when I was in high school. Like they had to try out to make the marching band, and then they'd be like alternates and things like that. It's just I don't know. Is that the byproduct of the whatever money going out getting cut from high school or what?
You know what? That's not my expertise.
And then I heard And then I heard that they're cutting back what the pom team and the cheerleaders can cheer and when they can cheer on top of it. I heard that's happening right now.
Well, you should have a front row seat to that.
That's what I'm talking about. I got some insight on that. It's on the road. Yeah, they can't cheer as often on the road. They restrict how much they can cheer on the road now and stuff like that. Yeah.
You mean on the field?
Yeah, like on the track right there.
On the track?
Yeah. As an opposing team. Yeah. They restrict that now. They're making it where you can't cheer as much.
I understand not having the band play while a play is going on.
By the way, Centennial brings their band, not the whole band.
Yeah.
Centennial had band in the stands.
Yeah.
That's impressive, Centennial. I'll give you that. What high school teams bring the band?
Centennial's pretty first class.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's going on. Then of course the AIA passes all those laws, and I looked more into it over the weekend. Does not pertain to kids that had already enrolled. Here's the other side of it. The kids that were banned and came to Mesa, they're all Division I recruits. One or two of them committed to Texas A&M.
Hey.
So if they sit out the season, that's obviously detrimental to them. So that's why they want to get over here and play.
Right.
If you were enrolled in school by Friday, you get to go through the season here as well. So they are good. Well, they're perceived to be good. Dave, because that was your question.
Yeah.
Are these kids good? They're good. And it was the group of kids that I saw Thursday night's Mesa Desert Ridge. There was a group of kids off to the side, like just hovering together in their jersey. It was those group of kids.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. And they're a part of the and I might have this wrong, but Samoan culture, right? Okay. And Mesa has a big culture. Yeah. Mesa has that culture there. So that's why a lot of people were saying they favored. So I could kind of tell you what schools they were calling, because that's what they were looking for.
Right.
That's what they were looking for, that type of a thing. Yeah, but yeah, so they are high level recruits. Let's just put it that way. From what I saw, but the AIA is letting them play if they were enrolled in school already. So now, if you try to enroll, you can't do it. That's the update on that rule.
Hold on, you need to explain that better. Are these kids eligible
yes,
this year?
Because they enrolled in school before Friday. Yes, whether they attended classes or not doesn't matter. I read one kid enrolled Friday morning because they knew this rule was coming. So he actually enrolled Friday morning or Thursday night or Friday morning to get ahead of it so he'd be eligible to play. Now there's a 10-day acclimation period. We have to make sure they can handle the heat here and, their football condition, et cetera. So they'll be eligible this. I know 4 out of the 5 or 6 that went to Mesa will be eligible this Friday.
I thought I read where they said that if you've been suspended from another.
Well, so that's the cat. Well, see, that's the caveat. I saw that too, but then I read that they're eligible to play this week
or next week.
If
you got a 10-day.
Yeah, because they were enrolled last week. Yeah, so I can't do the math. We all know that. Yeah, and then they did. They said if you've been suspended from another place. So I don't know. We need clarification on that. I was hoping you'd have it. Wasn't that the talk of the Your View broadcast?
Oh, we were looking for things to talk about. I mean, when it's 23-30 to nothing, and there ain't a whole lot going on.
Could you imagine driving up from Tucson and then having to drive back at that point? It's almost like going to San Francisco and losing and then having a 2-hour flight home. Probably about the same.
Or, you fly to Waco and you fly home victorious.
With a victory. You want to avoid college football today. You want to avoid college football talk today.
I know. I started thinking about that Sunday morning when I got up. I said, I don't know if I got one pick right.
Yeah, you got one. Hey, Kobe, do you have that really quick? Let's do this early in the show here today.
Look at you.
This would be the 2025 Week 4 college football show picks.
Wow, you're gonna break that out.
Here's the good news:
wow.
Utah is so red they match the X color, so it looks like we didn't miss that one.
Okay.
But yeah, you got Oklahoma right. That's the only one. Boy, did the world know about Indiana except for you and me? How Illinois is even still ranked, losing, what was it, 63 to -12, I think is what they lost by, and everything, and they're still ranked on top of that with a blowout. They're in Indiana. Indiana's for real. I got to apologize to Indiana. I did not know you were for real this year.
Well, I think the other team you need to take a look at, Texas Tech might be for real.
A backup quarterback too.
I mean, to go into Utah in that hostile environment.
Yeah, but dare I say this, Dampier, his first test, and it was not a good one.
But you didn't see that until Saturday.
That's what I mean. It's his first test, and it was an unfortunate test with that Utah offense. I'm not saying it's him. I mean, it was a turnover fest at the beginning. Texas Tech backup quarterback comes in, and dare I say the backup quarterback looked better than the starting quarterback in that second half.
Crazy. And then my ponies are going back to the post-Telestray SMU Mustang.
Terrible deal. I watched some of that. It was at 9 o'clock with that Utah Texas Tech. I had it on. SMU's problems offense. Last year when they had an offense problem, they benched their quarterback and put somebody else in.
Yes.
Maybe they got to try that again. Because TCU looked good, and they're coming in here Friday night.
They are. And then your Sun Devils go to Waco.
I told you not to go with Baylor. ASU had that the whole time. It wasn't even close.
You're so stupid.
Didn't even sweat.
You're so stupid.
I was like, we got this. We got this.
Boy, it's nice to have a field goal kicker, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll talk some college football coming up. But since you brought it up, let's just throw that up there.
How about those NFL picks?
No, we don't. There's one more game tonight, so we have to wait till tonight.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Who's leading going into tonight?
It doesn't matter. Week 4, I'm going to do them quarterly, so I'm going to sit down this week and do the college one.
You're
so
not going to sit down tonight and do that. I'll bet a McDonald's drink you're not going to sit down and do that.
The kids have fall break here starting Friday, so I think that might be an
already?
Yeah. Well, they've been in school since the end of July. They've been in school for 2 months.
Boy, they're so easy on
They have
kids.
half days Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, which makes getting out to Glendale on Thursday a little bit easier. We got to leave at like 2:30, 3 at the latest.
They have half days and then they have 2 weeks off?
Yeah, life's rough for kids these days. Yeah.
I was born 40
I know.
too
Remember?
early.
Like we would start like on the Wednesday or Thursday before Labor Day, go to school for 2 to 3 days, have that Monday off on Labor Day. You wouldn't get a day off again
Until Thanksgiving.
Well, Veterans Day. I think you got Veterans Day off still back
you
then.
might have
didn't you?
one and then
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
but other than that, it was Thanksgiving. Yeah, you had to go to school that whole length of time.
There are no teacher betterment days.
I know, it's every Wednesday. That's why they get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every Wednesday they got a half day. When Ethan first started going to school, it was every other Wednesday. And then they're like, well, let's make it easier for parents and just do it every Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, half days and everything.
Half days and then 2 weeks off.
Yep, 2 weeks off.
How are kids going to learn anything?
I don't know. Some would argue they don't. So Ethan's coming in and working for us over the next couple of weeks when he's out. So maybe that'll be his project.
It won't. Because I'm leading.
You're not leading now after last week. I can tell you that.
I'm leading the NFL.
Oh, probably.
I'm dominating you.
Probably on that one.
That's all that matters.
I'm not going to
lie to you.
I'm not going to lie to you there.
The
You probably are. Problem is you went with your SMU, which I thought they'd be able to pull it out as well, and they just weren't able to do it with TCU on the road.
And never had a chance in that ASU game. You know, Baylor was, what did they lose, 40-0 or?
Well, no, SMU was up by 14 with like 5 minutes to go, and they lost it to go to overtime.
No, I'm talking about the ASU-Baylor game. It really had no chance. I mean, ASU dominated that game.
Yeah, I mean, I never worried about it. I was never worried. I was like, we got this.
Oh gosh.
Were you worried? Nah, we got Jesus on our side. I love all this stuff afterwards. Jesus, take the wheel. That stuff cracks me up. He is such a casual dude. It kind of scares me. Like they kept going to him on the broadcast. We're talking about the field goal kicker, and they kept going to him on the sideline. He just stands there. He doesn't warm up. He just stands there. And even the broadcast was like, oh, he's just standing there. You're probably thinking about getting out there and making this game-winning kick. And I'm like, no, that's what he does every game. It's kind of unnerving how he just is just like, whatever. And then he goes out there and takes his position and steps it off and then just stands there all like, I guess we can snap it whenever. And then, boom, just makes it. No questions asked. Makes it, and then he just walks off.
He didn't walk off
Yeah, he celebrated a little bit.
Celebrated a little bit. You know what's fascinating when you said that? Because when I've been to a few NFL games and a couple college games, like when I was a long snapper, either I was playing and then it become fourth down, you had to snap.
Yeah.
Or when I wasn't playing, I would bend over and make sure I'm stretched out or whatever.
Yeah.
I see these other long snappers
They just stand
snapping. No, I see them snapping. They'll snap 5, 6, 7 every series that the offense gets
no,
off.
it's the opposite now. They go out there during timeouts and stuff, and they'll snap it during that time. But they don't do it on the sideline like they used to.
I used to see the Cardinal guy before this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
not
how
anymore.
many snaps do you need to get warmed up?
It's not anymore. Now, like during a timeout, if it's like third down, they'll go out there and they'll snap the ball, like 4 or 5 times during a timeout, something like that. No, they don't do it like they used to. The punters used to kick into that net all the time. Field goal kickers were doing it. They just don't do it anymore. You rarely see them warming up like that anymore. That's easy when you're kicking 64-yarders.
I might have been the least practicing long snapper in the history of football. I mean, like off season, I never snapped. I didn't snap till we went to minicamp.
It just came natural.
And I always, because Joe, I was on our special teams coach, he was a snapper. He always talked about how his elbows hurt so much because every time you snap, you kind of hyperextend your arms. And I'm like, my elbows feel fine. Because I didn't practice that much.
That's the difference. You never practice.
Your elbows have always
Remember how we talked about getting calloused before the season?
Yes.
Yeah, and Dale's just like, whatever. Maybe if you would have practiced more, you wouldn't have sucked for 2 Ravens games. The end of the career there.
I did practice for those. That's why I sucked.
That's probably why you did it. Lots more injuries in the NFL. I don't even know what we're doing with ourselves. We're going to be playing. We're going to be playing UFL kids in the NFL here in the next week or two. The rate the injuries are happening. Obviously, James Conner's the big one for the Cardinals. As soon as that happened, like the broadcast didn't even acknowledge it, and I went, he didn't. That didn't look right.
There are about 5 guys over at my house watching the game, and everybody's watching everything. And I saw somebody fall on his lower leg, and I saw him get bent. I'm like, I just turned away.
Yeah, his bottom foot was this way, and the rest of his body went this way. And it was a quick thing, and I was like, okay, he didn't land right. And I go, is he hurt? I literally go, is he hurt? And they cut away, like they normally do. And then they cut back for a second, and Kyler looked like he was about ready to throw up. Yeah. And I went, oh, God, here we go.
You know when your teammates turn and walk away with that look.
Not only that, when immediately the opposing team comes out to the field on you. And so we have a big question for the Cardinals on top of that we have to discuss. He's the heartbeat of this team. He's not racking up a ton of yards this year, but his physicality and this offense runs and goes as James Conner goes. He sets the tone on this offense. We're in trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. And I get it. Some of y'all at home despise Kyler Murray. I've told you guys before, my take on Kyler Murray is he's probably better than mid, but he's not a top 10 quarterback. So he's probably 12 to 15 quarterback in the league. Can you win with him? Yeah, you can win 8, 9, 10 games, 11 games with him. Can you make the playoffs with him? Yeah, you can. If you have a running game and a good defense, you absolutely can. Are you winning a Super Bowl with him? Probably not, Is he going to make mistakes at ends of games if you put him in that position? Yeah, he's going to, right? Should you get rid of Kyler Murray if you can get somebody better? But there's only one Josh Allen out there. I saw one guy yesterday go, Josh Allen's winning that game. Well, that's right. That's why Josh Allen's Josh Allen. That's why there's only one of them. Because if they were all Josh Allen, they'd all be good.
Oh, they'd all be great.
They'd all be great, yes. And, it's just like, what's happening here? But we've got to stop making excuses and for receivers not holding on the balls and then blaming Kyler Murray. It is the most annoying thing about you Kyler Murray haters out there. It drives me nuts. For the love of God, if he puts a ball in a receiver's hands and the receiver drops it, it's not Kyler Murray's fault.
Well, what happens, again, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but and there were a couple egregious drops yesterday.
Well, not just Marvin Harrison Jr., but
That's what I'm
DeMarcado.
saying. That's what
He
I'm
would have
saying.
walked in for a touchdown if he would have caught
That's what I'm
that.
saying. A couple, and not just, that would have been a good catch kind of
Yeah.
things.
Well,
Egregious.
Zay Jones should have caught that, but the defender was wrestling for the ball. Okay, I'll give Zay a little bit of grace, but he should have caught that.
But what I was going to say is the fact that what happens to the psyche of a team is when Harrison drops that ball, and it's an egregious drop. Nobody around him. Obviously took his eye off the ball, looking where he was going to run before he caught the ball.
Dale, I wish I could say that was true.
I mean,
Okay, we want to see it, and I'll tell you, or do you want me to tell you what before I see
no,
it?
go ahead and show
He
it.
doesn't catch with his hands; he catches with his pads.
But you also watch his head as the ball's coming into.
Oh,
his
really?
body.
All right, we'll have to pay attention to it. It's a MHJ drop here. This is fundamental. You get taught at a pup-borner age to how to catch the football. Don't go. Drives me nuts. Kobe, play it when you got it there. MH. Okay, this is a repeat on everything here. I was watching his head. I didn't pay attention to it because he's catching it with his body. Oh, you're right. He does look away right there. Right there, you're right. But what are you doing catching that with your pads in your body? You're
the
right.
whole thing.
You're right.
But what I wanted to address on that
Sorry,
is the fact that when you have an egregious drop like that by who I think they feel and people feel is your top wide receiver.
They told us he was a generational talent.
You see a drop like that, and the entire team, all 52 other dudes, there's a palatable despair that goes through the team.
Yes.
Everybody goes, and it's so hard to come back from that because not only if he catches that, if he gets tackled right there, it's whatever, a 20-yard gain.
Yeah.
But there's nobody out in front of him.
Yeah. And Kyler
Who
Murray,
knows?
And Kyler Murray did throw that one late to him.
Who knows how many yards he gains after the catch?
Could still be running.
But he drops it, and you could see the air get sucked out of a football team.
Yeah, you've been on a bench, right? I'm sure Michael Irvin's dropped some balls he probably shouldn't have, and in key situations he wasn't perfect, right?
Yeah, but that's a little different because he's going to catch 99 out of 100 that are important.
I guess it would have to be early in his career, right? Because you tend to forgive him, year 10 or whatever.
It's like Michael
right?
Jordan. Oh, he missed this game when he shot. Well, he's made 40 others.
Yeah,
so.
that's a good point. It would have to have been early in his career, but yeah. I mean, it's just Kyler Murray did everything right yesterday to a certain extent. What I'm talking about is finding open receivers, down the field throws yesterday, and the receivers just dropped them. And they hit him in the hands.
Yeah. You said DeMarcado.
Yeah, I didn't get that one because I'm just depressed on that one. I mean, he was all turning his body. No, DeMarcado not supposed to be playing in that situation. He's in there because James Conner went out.
But he's a third down back.
That's his job.
He's supposed to catch the ball.
It's his job. I know.
And again, I'm not talking about, hey, you catch a ball in traffic or you take a big hit, whatever. But it's not like, I'm running across the middle. I might get slammed by a safety.
Yeah. So you pull your hands in a little bit.
He's going out towards the sideline, and there's nobody in the picture.
Yeah. Cardinals' first drive, right? The field goal miss. How deflating is that when you want to get off to a good start? You do 14 plays, 32 yards, 6 minutes, 46 seconds. Your first drive of the game's tone-setting drive. You script plays on this trip too, right? You have an idea of what plays you're going to call in this first drive, right? You've set it up all week in practice. This is how we're going to get guys involved and things like that, correct? Kyler Murray, pass, Ryman. Kyler Murray, pass, Ryman. James Conner up the middle. James Conner up the middle. James Conner left. Kyler Murray to Trey McBride. Then you got the penalty on Beachum, as he was starting, as Paris Johnson was out yesterday.
By the way, did we know that Paris Johnson was dinged up last week?
Nope.
Okay.
surprising. I knew he had I know he wasn't feeling right, but nobody gave any indication he was missing that game. Kyler Murray, short right pass to James Conner. Penalty on that delay of game there. Kyler Murray then scrambles there and runs for that 4 yards or whatever it was. Trey Benson runs it at that point. Kyler Murray passing complete to Benson. Field goal, no good. You practice all week, and whether you technically script them, I don't know if teams necessarily do what they used to do, but you go into the game and you go, this is what we're doing to set the tone at the beginning of the game. You worked on it all week long. Not one wide receiver was a target in this first drive of the game. Not one.
Well, a couple things jump to mind. Number one, yes, I think they still do script, and you script to try and get certain guys involved, which you think that Marvin Harrison would be immediate.
Nope.
They used to do that, especially at home with Larry Fitzgerald. Get the ball to him early because the crowd got into it.
Crowd got into it, yeah.
But you script that, and then you do some things to see how the defense is going to respond to certain things. You
run plays to go, okay, is Bosa doing this? Is Bosa doing this?
Where's the safety going? Yeah. How they get adjust to this motion and things like that. Now, again, early in the game when Bosa was still in there, as much praise as I heaped on the Cardinals offensive line last year, again, when a lot of people were saying they weren't very good, if they don't start playing better,
they're struggling.
If they don't start playing, I mean, you can say a lot about Kyler Murray, whatever you want, but he can't take a normal drop and go 1, 2 without somebody around.
He's running for his life.
Yes,
and quickly, and which then. So if you run to your right, you're shrinking your vision of the field. If you run to your right, if you run to your left, you're shrinking your vision of the field. No. So that's where you can't go down your progressions and things like that. Yeah.
And not only is the pass protection spotty, to try and use a somewhat okay term, the run blocking is not very good.
I would argue the run blocking is worse. Because at least Kyler Murray can get you out of if you get somebody past you. On the run block, if the running back has nowhere to go and they're just running into a brick wall, what are we doing here? No. Here's the second drive, first quarter, second drive, 12 plays, 33 yards, 6 minutes, 1 second drive. 7-yard run.
Really?
1 yard
Hold
run.
on. Really? Only 33 yards?
Yes, in that second drive. 12 plays, 33 yards, 6 minutes, 1 second. Yeah. Cardinals dominated this first quarter.
That's a lot of time and a lot of plays to go 33 yards.
And, and score 0 points on top of it in the first quarter. So 7-yard run, 1 yard run, 1 yard run, 4-yard pass to Connor, 7-yard pass to Higgins, 2-yard pass to Dortch. First wide receiver to catch a ball is Greg Dortch, halfway through this drive. Pass incomplete. It was on his way to Wilson there as well. 9-yard run, that's where Kyler Murray scrambled. 1-yard run, pass incomplete. That was to Marvin Harrison Jr. So first pass to Marvin Harrison Jr. is 20 plays into this game. 20-something plays into this game. Pass incomplete to McBride. And then the punt. Why even have wide receivers on this team? Why did you draft anybody number 4? Even if they got neighbors, they're not doing anything. This offense is not predicated around wide receivers.
Well, and I know we're going to take a break here quickly and we'll talk more about it, but I am going to make the argument that maybe there's some plays called for Marvin Harrison. There was one, especially in the second half, where he stopped running his route because he didn't think the ball was going to come to him.
He stopped down the sideline, and Kyler threw it down the sideline.
Because you could tell in his body language he didn't think the ball was coming to him.
That's when I tweeted out, Marv looks lost.
And
he looks lost out there.
You can't ever stop running your route as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
You don't know when the ball's coming to you or not. And I'm sure the play was called, so somebody else was supposed to get the ball, but he plumb stopped.
Yeah. It wasn't like he was expecting a back shoulder throw.
He
stopped. He didn't even put his hands up when he stopped. He just stopped.
And so you couple the drops with the stop running routes with the body language that I was concerned about.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It just none of it is adding up.
Even
Make you
that
feel
one where
good.
he almost caught that miraculous touchdown, where Zay's down there in the end zone, they get the pass interference call. Why do you have two receivers in a 3-yard window in the end zone?
The only reason I could think that might have happened was because Kyler Murray scrambled around a little bit.
So
And you
Mar
just-
ran deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I could think that. But
That's the problem with the route tree is two receivers run the same route, just at different depths. So if Kyler Murray does scramble, and so what do you do when you scramble as a wide receiver? You go. Once somebody goes, just start running. Run down the field, so he can launch it to you. So maybe you're right on that, but that's the problem with having two guys running the same routes underneath. It's just, what are we doing out there? When we come back, we keep talking about it, and I'm gonna give you guys the prime example. If you followed my Twitter last night, SMAC500, you saw what I was talking about. There are professional media people blaming Kyler Murray for the Zay Jones drop at the end of the game. Dang, he threw behind him. Does Kyler Murray throw behind guys? Yes, occasionally he does. He does not find them on time sometimes. But for the love of God, we need to stop making stuff up. Stop making it up. Be fair about it. Come on back, folks. Main event. Back here.
You
Main
are
event.
unbelievable.
A lot of people, man.
Wow.
A lot of people out there. So Cardinals.
Not even for autumn.
Not if I have to get there 8 hours early and then sit there all day and then 5 hours home.
You could rent the Beast
I complain enough about getting to Cardinals games around 11 and leaving for that at 10:30 and then coming an hour and a half home. I get home halftime and Sunday. No.
But this is your sweetie. Wow. All right, we'll just leave that out in the ether.
I'm just saying, just die a nobody. A lot of people.
All right, so we're back because you only get yourself in trouble.
Already in trouble. I had the conversation in front of her last night too at dinner, so we're good. So Cardinals.
Autumn, by the way, I'll fight 100,000 people if something happens.
James Conner out. They have an offensive problem here. Like I said, I don't know if it's a Kyler Murray problem or if it's an offensive play. I can tell you this. I watch a lot of football. Even that Giants game last night. They do things to get guys open and move them around that you just don't see the Cardinals do. And it's disappointing and stuff like that. But Kyler Murray's not perfect. Sometimes he throws guys late. If he's scrambling, he throws things late. Guys have to come back for it. Sometimes guys have to wait. But he's hitting guys in the hands with balls and things like that. So there's a media guy out there that follows the Cardinals. And last night he put out, and I'm going to show you the wide one here that he put out first. Because, yes, Wilson was more open underneath, but he wasn't at the sticks. This is a big play. Zay Jones, throwing that ball to Zay Jones there is a typical window you throw into in the NFL, right? The defender's there, but you throw it where your receiver can go and get it and come down with it. Zay Jones should have come down with this. I'll give a little bit of credit to the defender, for doing his job in this as well, but you probably should have come down with this. So I'm going to show you the wide view first here. So Zay drop. This is the wide thing. Of course, this is that famous third down before they had a punt, which then eventually they lost the game in this, right? Here it is. So you see Wilson across the middle underneath. Look at that. That's a perfect throw. That's the white read to a guy that's past the sticks. Would Wilson have made it past the sticks? I don't know. We'll never know now, right? To get there. But we'll play it a couple more times here, Dale, so everybody can see it. Because I know this is a wide view. If you're not used to the wide view, it's not the deal. But you can see everything break up. So, Kobe, can we play it again? And be ready to pause it for me as we go through this. Okay. So you see on the left there. Okay, pause it here. Right here on the break, you can tell Wilson's getting open across the middle. Right now. You could dump it underneath there. But look, he's, 8 yards short of the sticks as he's coming across. Right there. Go ahead and hit play again. Okay, stop it again. He catches if he catches that ball right there with that defender on him, can he make it? I don't know. Do you know, Dale? I don't know. Nobody knows. But people seem to think he could probably make it. How do you have any
if,
idea?
if you throw it to him in stride, right here, if you look at it, and obviously you're slowing it down, you stopped it, and you're looking at, well, right here, to me, you could throw it to the guy that's on the 35-yard line.
Well, that's Zay.
And then, but the underneath guy, you lead him.
Yeah.
That guy's trailing him by a couple yards. You throw the ball in stride. That's the key. If the receiver has to stop, slow down, reach back, that the defender's going to catch him.
Absolutely. But you have two options here, right?
Yeah.
This is an NFL window throw here. Nobody's wide open. Nobody's covered to where you don't throw it to. The one guy you don't throw it to is the guy deep.
Correct.
Because he's got two guys on him up there, safety and the cornerback. That's the guy you don't launch it to.
Now, I do want to point out one other thing.
Yes.
As we're looking at this, because the place you stopped right here. Look what is right in Kyler Murray's face.
His lineman is being pushed back right into his face.
Right into his face, and that's probably a 6'6" offensive lineman and a 6'5" defensive lineman.
I believe it's the left guard, but don't quote me on that because I don't remember.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. I think there's three linemen to the right there, and then the left tackle out here.
Yep.
So that would be correct. But he's a yard in front of Kyler Murray right now.
Yeah, and Kyler Murray's got room to step up. He's got room to unload
it.
But there's a guy there, right?
Yeah.
But then on top side, look at to the right of Kyler Murray there. They're fighting over there. Now, he's not close to him, but you're hearing that going on, right? As you're trying to find a throw. So you're kind of paying attention to that also as his pocket. Now, he's obviously in the throw here. There's nothing wrong with throwing it to either one of these guys here.
Right.
The amount of people that are saying Zay Jones wasn't the right throw. What are you guys talking about? This is a NFL window. This is where you throw it to him, etc. Right? Go ahead and play Kobe again. Okay, pause it again. Okay, that ball is almost to Jones right there, and he has to jump. I saw people say, "Oh, if he would have let him, he could have gotten there." Okay, you're possibly right? But that defender's still not on him, and he's about to catch that ball.
Well, he's reaching out, and he's at least touching him. But again,
Yeah.
if I'm going to criticize anything about this, it's that he didn't throw it out there and let his receiver go get it.
He should have let him a little bit and let him run up to it.
But still catchable ball.
But now look at Wilson, right? That play's moved on. Look how close that defender is on him underneath there, right? I'm not entirely sure he would have made the sticks there. But there's nothing wrong throwing this ball to Zay in this moment. But the people out there going, he picked the wrong guy to throw it to. There's nothing wrong with this throw whatsoever in terms of the person he threw it to. Now, could he have let him a little bit better? Yes.
No.
Okay, so then go ahead and play it out here. Zay gets it. Defender comes on top of him, knocks it down. That becomes a contested catch, right? But an NFL receiver comes down with that. Some people are saying it was thrown behind him a little bit.
I don't know who you follow on Twitter because I didn't see that, but
Oh, well, yeah. I'm not going to blast them publicly. But there's a lot of just regular Cardinals fans saying that ball was thrown behind Zay Jones as well. So let's go down to the field here, and let's look at it. So my contention is he had two guys to throw it to, and he chose to throw it to the open guy past the sticks because you need the first down there.
correct?
I don't have a problem with that. A lot of other people seem to have a problem with it. All right, with what he did there. I mean, Dale, you've seen a lot of NFL film. You played in a lot of NFL games. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, on where he went.
I have no problem with the choice of who to throw it to. The only thing that I would say to make it a perfect play, you would hope that it'd be just a little bit out in front of it.
Yeah. Now,
but that's still a catch that in an average to above average wide receiver, not a great one. You don't have to be Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, you're not one-handed catching.
That's a catch that needs to be made in the National Football League.
So I'm going to play you a close-up here from the broadcast on that play, and specifically on Zay Jones on this play. Now, I can understand maybe they're saying it was thrown behind him because he had to jump a little bit and he couldn't stay in stride. But that's not throwing behind him. Throwing behind him to me is you have to contort your body, you have to slow down, you have to put your hands behind you. To me, that's more of a throw behind kind of deal, right? It's on your back shoulder. So here it is. Zay drop here. This is a close-up. Let's just watch it first, and then we'll break it down. There's the ball. I mean, that's, yeah. I don't. That ball can't be more perfect into one spot that a receiver comes down with it on. I'm sorry. That's not behind him at all, is it? Am I blind? Yeah, you can take it down here. That guy. Some guy's watching it at home.
Oh, I thought
No.
that was the guys going, are those your fingers? They look,
No,
they look kind of skinny.
that guy's one of the guys complaining about the throw and how I mean, it would have been a tough catch by Zay if he would have caught that. What are you guys talking about? Dale, did that not hit him? Two hands right in front of his face mask. Am I the only one seeing this?
Again, if you're going to be very critical, the only thing you could say is that was a little high.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being where he had to put his hands up, put his hands out, that's the only
So he
thing.
could grip the ball.
Yeah,
differently.
but you
Get ready to play
make
it
that
again,
catch.
Kobe.
You make that catch if you're an NFL receiver.
Yeah, you make it to the NFL because you make those
Yeah.
catches. Let's play it again here, Kobe, and be ready to pause it again here as well, so we can look at it. All right, pause it here. Okay. No defender to be found here. There's one guy going up for this ball. You're past the sticks. You just got to catch it, tuck it, and put it down, right? Go ahead and hit play again here. Pause it there. Okay. By not leading him, you allow the defender and his momentum to come in and an arm get in the way of that. That's what you argue. So if you're saying he threw it behind him slightly, it's because he didn't lead him. But that's not a behind the throw ball. That is right in the face mask on a guy, right? Go ahead and play it out there. He's got it all the way there. He loses it when he hits the ground. He's got the ball. There it goes.
Well, those are the catches that Larry Fitzgerald was famous for.
Yes.
The
contested balls, guys draped over him. He goes up and gets it and brings it down. I don't blame Zay for dropping that 1,000%. I mean, an NFL receiver should come down with that. I understand why you don't come down with it. Defenders there draped on you after you catch it. You're coming to the ground, all of that stuff. I can understand it popping out once you hit the ground. Should it? No, you should catch it. But to blame Kyler Murray for that throw and where he threw it to, I don't understand what we're doing. You guys are making me defend Kyler Murray now in indefensible plays, and plays on that, because that's how dumb we're getting with the attacking of Kyler Murray. Every quarterback makes that throw in this league. Josh Allen does it. His receivers come down with it. Nobody's complaining about his throws. Dale, I just wanted to get your thoughts. You've been in around, and if you were watching that this morning in Cowboys camp, nobody's upset on that throw, other than maybe lead them a little bit. But nobody's upset about that play call or anything.
No.
Zay's upset he didn't catch it, obviously.
Right.
But nobody's going, oh, how can we do this? This is ridiculous, right? Kind of just that.
I concur.
I just don't get. There's enough to pick Kyler Murray apart on. Let's not do it on things where we shouldn't pick him apart on from that side. Again, that same, was that intentional grounding play. He had 7 opportunities to throw that ball down the field out of bounds. He decided to try to scramble. By the time he goes to throw it, he's getting hit. He's almost in the end zone. And he's trying to get it out. Nobody's around there, and it's intentional grounding almost in the end zone.
Well, that's where I got into it a little bit with Bruce Cooper last week, because, again, when Bruce says that wasn't a bad decision, what I'm about is there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Get rid of the ball, make sure it's not intentional grounding, and live to see another down.
I think what Bruce is saying, though, is it wasn't a bad decision to throw it away. It's just
he waited too long.
Yeah, he tries to make something happen with his feet, and then he decides, and it's too late at that point. That's what happened yesterday. He should have just casually thrown that ball up toward a receiver and launched it 10 yards out of bounds. Instead, he's trying to scramble, gets into trouble, and then he goes, now I got to unload it. And it's too late at that moment to do it, and that stuff happens. It's just like this. And I guess that's a byproduct of being able to save, be able to get out of things with your feet. You always think you can scramble out of something. Maybe that's the byproduct of layman, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating as all heck when he does that stuff, as we go into it. So when we come back here, We're not done with the Cardinals, folks. We have an offensive problem. Some of you blame Kyler Murray. Some of you blame receivers. Some of you, like me, blame the offensive coordinator.
Well, and there's another group we could point at, too.
The offensive line. I said to spare them for you as well. This offense is broken and everything. And when your head coach comes out and says what he says after the game, throw up the red flags, folks.
Oh, no.
Start panicking now.
How about my Diamondbacks?
Now they're coming up as well. We'll talk them as well, along with the ASU and college football. So come on back. The main event. And we're back here, second hour main event. Don't forget, text us 623-252-6670. Of course, at TME Sports Show on X as well. We see them, we read them if you'd like us to. We read them as well. So join us there. Get in that conversation. Of course, like and subscribe the free podcast on your favorite podcast system. Even if you're catching us live, we see you guys out there. We know our overwhelming big audience is here at Robat TV Live. For those of you that catch us on demand here as well, we thank you. We just ask you go to the podcast system, whether it be Spotify, Podbean, Apple, Google, whatever, and just hit subscribe on that for us. And then, of course, all the shows are up also on our YouTube channel as well. So get on there and subscribe to that as well. Business show, the pit stop, all on there as well. They're on the YouTube channel as well. So after the game yesterday, of course, we're talking Cardinals
Before
here.
you go there,
Yep.
I got one quick question for
Yep.
you. So I made this statement yesterday with the people I was watching the game with, and nobody fought me on it too much.
Well, that's because you were watching it with nobody's.
And you're somebody?
They were afraid of you.
And you're somebody?
No, I'm just not afraid of you. That's the difference.
Right now, today, on Monday, September 22nd,
Okay?
would you trade Ricky Pearsall for Marvin Harrison straight up?
100%.
I'm watching this Ricky Pearsall, and I'm like,
Local kid.
what?
Corona, right?
Yeah, Corona del Sol,
Florida
ASU,
Tempe.
and then he got smart and said,
Florida. They told him to leave. Little nugget for you guys. They told him to leave. They told him what was coming down the pipeline. And it's probably time for you to get out of here.
Watching him play yesterday, I'm like, what?
Yeah, but I feel that way about a lot of receivers in the league.
I'm just saying they're both drafted last
Yeah.
year, both drafted first round.
Robert Dunze looks like a receiver this year with Ben Johnson on that offense. It's ridiculous watching these guys that have struggled and not been able to do stuff. You know, last year and then this year they're doing stuff, and it's just like, what?
Danny Dimes.
I'm leaning more into your theory that there's a lot of problems in practice, and there's no confidence there between Kyler and some of those receivers.
And again, we don't get to see them.
I'm leaning into that. I'm leaning into that a lot more.
There's something going on. I mean, seriously, and I know we're going to come back to the Cardinals.
Yep.
But when you look at the quarterback in Indianapolis now, who was a thorough bust
Yeah.
in New York.
Well, he had nobody to throw to, and no running game.
Thorough bust. He had Saquon Barkley for a couple
Saquon
years.
got hurt the first year, so he had no running game. Then Saquon was good, and then he left.
You look at the Jets quarterback, and now I'm forgetting his name, that went to Minnesota last year. What the guy who saw ghosts? Come on, you know his name.
Sam Darnold?
Yeah,
The Seahawks, yeah.
he's Seahawks now, but
Yeah.
he's seeing ghosts in New York with the Jets.
Yeah.
Goes to Minnesota, wins 14 games,
Yeah.
and now he's a quarterback.
Carson Wentz looked good.
And now he's a quarterback. It's like, how much has to do with coaching? And I think it gets put on the back burner.
Yeah.
Because the Indianapolis Colts put up 41 points or 40-something points.
And it was led with Jonathan. I call him Jonathan Taylor Thomas, for you Tool Time fans out there. But Jonathan Taylor, they have an offensive line. Taylor's running the ball, but that's also a byproduct of your quarterback.
Yes.
They're like, we have to respect the pass here. So then the running game takes off. Then you pull up, and then it opens up the passing game. I felt like yesterday the Cardinals passing game opened up as that game went on. and it's just guys weren't catching footballs.
Well, there were 2 egregious drops for sure, maybe 3, and it's just again coaching, I believe, and that means practice time plays such a big part that nobody really even pays attention to or notices.
What if I told you Drew Penzing's problem might just be he's too young as an offensive coordinator?
The other thing I was hoping you were going to bring up today. Did you realize his play sheet was a little bit bigger?
I did. I did notice that. I thought of you. I tried to find a picture of it. Yeah.
Except for it looks like there's pictures drawn on it.
Well, I saw one that somebody AI did, and it was like 3 different plays. Only 3 plays on there. It's the Cardinals run when they pass the football, unless Kyler Murray scrambles and it becomes a free play, you know what play's coming. It's the same plays over and over and over and over and over again. Every time, and it's amazing. But I mean, so maybe it's just sometimes when you're a young coach, you don't have the experience. You haven't experienced this before. He doesn't know how to get out of this because he doesn't have the experience to get out of it. And how do we improve this or whatever? I think it's derelict of duty to go into that game and not have one receiver catch a football for the first 20-something plays of the game.
Yeah. Especially when it's been a point of contention, point of emphasis. That you get the ball to one of them early, especially Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison was 1 catch, 6 yards at halftime. He ends up with 44 yards for that as well. Look at this. Yards after catch. Marvin Harrison, 7. Zay Jones, 5. In terms of receivers, Wilson, 1. Dortch, 8. The guys that are getting yards after catch are Trey McBride and James Conner.
But
30
to
and 27.
Me, what comes into play on yards after catch is ball placement.
Well, 100%. You gotta feed them the ball to where they're not stopping and things like that from that perspective. But I think we all can admit, whether you want to blame Kyler, whether you want to blame Drew, whether you offensive line, whatever you want to blame, this offense has a problem.
Maybe it was the weather yesterday. Maybe the rain and wind and.
The perfect San Francisco day. The perfect Santa Clara day. Like, I was like, man, I wish I was there right now. It looks so nice.
Oh, my goodness.
And so whatever you want to blame, pick something, blame it, because that's what you do as a fan, right? That's what we all do as fans and stuff like that. But we all can say there's something wrong with this offense. To have the ball for most of that first half, drive the ball repeatedly, and have long 6-minute drives in the first half and everything from that perspective. Right? To have the ball for 21 minutes, 27 seconds of the game. Niners only had it for 8:33, and to be down 6-3 at halftime. They can't score in the red zone. They refuse to score in the red zone. They falter in the red zone. They have to kick field goals because anytime they get close to the red zone, they struggle. That tells you you're off. And it's not, this was just 1 week. Every week it's the same thing. So something needs to change, whether it's a new quarterback, whether it's receivers, whether it's offensive linemen change out. Something needs to change, right? You need to improve this offense, right, Dale? I mean, it's simple. It's not a knock on anybody. It's not something negative. I mean, it's negative, but it's not. But you can look at it and go, you need to improve this, right?
Yes.
You can no matter fervent Cardinals fans to people that hate Kyler Murray to people that hate Drew Penzing. This can be improved, and it needs to improve. Well, one guy disagrees with us, Dale.
Oh, are you setting this up for
Jonathan Gannon? Jonathan Gannon after the game.
I have no problems with the offensive play calling. Never will. I know exactly what we're calling. So if you got a problem with that, you should look to me.
Okay.
Now, is that a guy who's in public is standing up for his guy?
I hope so.
But when they're on the plane back from San Francisco going, okay.
I hope so.
We've got to do something.
I hope so.
Because if, in fact, and I'm coming from a point where I like this coaching staff, I like this front office. I like Jonathan Gannon.
I like them all except for Drew Penzing.
And I think I could like Drew Penzing. But I like the way they have things set up.
Yeah.
But if he honestly believes that he has no problem with the way the offensive plays are being called. In my heart of hearts, I've got to believe he's standing up for his guy.
Yeah,
Kind of like Bruce Arians.
I agree.
Would say, well,
Amos?
if you fire him, you got to fire me.
Yeah, Amos, the special teams guy.
Again, there's something special about that. But if he's not in private, walking into Pensing's office, slamming the door, and saying, "Okay, what the hell are we doing?"
There's a lot of guys you can hire that can come in and be offensive coordinator, people that help out. People that have experience, a consultant.
Yes.
People that have experience with this, and they can look at it with fresh eyes. You damn well better be calling somebody like that. I'm not saying you fire Drew Pensing today, but Drew Pensing is young and probably doesn't even know that he's doing something wrong because he's never been in this situation before. So you got to get somebody with the experience that can look at it and go, you know what? Here's your problem. You're doing this at this time. You need to do it at this time, etc. Try this up. Change this up a little bit. That's like if you have an employee out there, and I used to go round and round and round with my boss and people at my level that would just be like, that person's terrible at their job. They're worthless at their job. We just need to get to the point where we get rid of them. And I would always be like, they probably don't know what they're doing wrong. You got to train them and show them what they're doing wrong. And I don't know if Jonathan Gannon as a defensive coach can be that guy. So go get an offensive guy out there. But you can defend your guy publicly without saying zero problems. Well, I just set it up, Dale. I can give you 700 reasons on this offense can be better leading up to that clip. And to go, no issues? That's alarming. You can go, look, every week we strive to improve on this. And every week, even on the defense, throw yourself on, even on the defensive side, we're going to try to improve our game this week. We go into every week with improving. That's our number one goal. We're going to look at the film. Our job is to get better at this. And I don't have an issue. I'm going to go look at the film, but I don't have an issue with what's going on out there. But we got to figure out and we got to keep improving on it. That's not throwing Pensing under the bus at all. But to say zero issue. Ann brought this up. She was hitting me up on DMs yesterday on X. This reminds her, and now me, because she brought it up, if you think about it, as Torrey defending his third base coach all year long. And then eventually it was, I got to make a move. I've got to do it. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to the team. We got to make a move. That's what that looked like yesterday, if you sit back and think about it. It looked like a coach, while defending another coach, defended him a little bit too much. When it went to zero, I know exactly what's being called. If you got a problem with it, okay, coach, okay, Gannon. Well, we'll blame you for your offensive woes if you want us to. I don't like it. That tells me. Even, I don't know this for a fact. I was young. I didn't pay much attention to post games and stuff like that back then. But like Lou Holtz is my favorite coach of all time, man. They'd be going into a game and they would be like, whoa, they got a chance to beat us this week. And then Notre Dame would go out there and beat the little Sisters of the Poor 700-3. And then after the game, Lou Holtz will be like, did you see that missed tackle there? We got to improve on this. That tells me Jonathan Gannon's like, yeah, we don't need to improve. We're good. We just got to execute a little bit better here or there. But the play calling's not the problem. It's other things. And it could be Kyler, could be receivers, could be the running game now, could be the offensive line. Maybe it's not play calling. But to say zero issues with it, I guarantee you every coach leaves a game and goes, man, I got a problem with that call. I got a problem with that call. Then when they watch film the next day, they go, why did we call that? Every time. Zero issues, Dale? Zero issues?
I keep my fingers crossed that was a head coach protecting his offensive coordinator.
Kobe, I want you to play it one more time in just a second.
Because, the other thing I pointed out yesterday, I asked the guys I'm with, do you like a coach that shows no emotion? Is that good or is that bad? Because Jonathan Gannon looks like a mannequin.
He's a stoic,
Yeah,
even on the
which-
sideline.
And if you're really, really good, I think that can be good. But I also like, hey, I like a little emotion, either happy, mad.
Did you see Andy Reid shoulder slam Kelsey yesterday while yelling at him? Sometimes you got to do it.
And Andy Reid is known as this jolly,
Yes.
happy guy.
Nothing bothers him. Even when he argues with the ref, he's like, "Excuse me, sir, I have a dispute with your flag there. Can we discuss it for a little bit?" He's all polite about it, and he's over there jawing like a player. With
I would
Kelsey.
have loved to know what that was about.
Kelsey's attitude, probably.
I mean, you can guess, but
Yeah, I know.
for Andy knows he's got an attitude. but for him to shoulder him when the guy's
Yeah.
got pads on,
He did. He goes boom. It was great. I loved it. Not because it was Kelsey. I mean, Kelsey's always been. I'll call him emotional.
edgy.
He's
edgy.
always been a guy that speaks his mind on the field. People notice it more and pay attention to more because of his fiance now, right, Taylor? He's always been that way.
I just don't
it
know
just
what
seems
happened.
like it's getting worse.
Because I wasn't obviously watching the game
Yeah.
at that moment, but I wonder what happened in a previous play. Did he run a wrong route?
I know before that he came off the field all pissed off and was yelling at people afterwards as well. So, I agree with you. I watched it, but I didn't have the sound up or anything like that. It was just on 2-0-2 teams.
And then you got Jonathan Gannon, who
Yeah.
is 3 penalties called on the Cardinals in a row, and
He stands there like that. Yep, just
which can be good.
Hey, Kobe, replay that clip here again, and just pay attention here if you're watching us live. If you're listening to us, sorry, it's out on Twitter. So just watch his facial reaction right before the clip ends. Just watch it. I try to capture this and emphasize it a little bit because afterwards it just goes back to regular Jonathan Gannon. Because you said no emotion because he's a stoic dude. I don't know about this. Jonathan Gannon yesterday after the press conference. Pay attention to the end.
I have no problems with the offensive play calling. Never will. I know exactly what we're calling. So if you got a problem with that, you should look to me.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, he knows he has a problem, folks. He knows he has a problem, and he knows it's not getting addressed, and he knows it's a big, huge issue without James Conner on top
You know what
of it.
that last pursing of the lips was?
That was,
That was
me?
my wife or girlfriend said something to me. I made my statement, and I want to say something else, but
yeah.
guess what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. I 1,000%, I'm not a body language expert. I do pay attention to body language and all that. He was stoic saying that until the end. And he was like, They know they have a problem. And now with James, the heart of that offense is now out for the season, reportedly, with ankle surgery. And that's the heart of that offense. And that team goes as James Conner goes. He might, even if he doesn't get a yard, just the way he hits the hole and that stuff. Its offense goes through him, in terms of the emotion. I think Jonathan Gannon, even today, is waking up going, all right, how do we fix this, boys? What do we need to do to fix this offense?
I have no doubt about that. I also have a feeling that, see, to me, it's multi-layered. It's not the pursing of the lips. I think there's probably 4 different things that you're looking at today. By the way, the other thing I heard is they're off today and they got a game on Thursday. That would shock me if they don't have to report today.
I didn't
Then
see
aside.
that. Really? You got to at least go look at film and everything, right?
Well, you don't. So
I'm talking about Seattle film, right? Like, you got to start.
you would think.
Here's our Seattle's game.
Yes.
At least look at Seattle's blowout of the Saints yesterday and say, here's what they're doing in a film thing. At a minimum, I know they play Thursday night, but
And then here's the thing. It's like
I didn't hear that, by the way.
I heard one of the players after the game say, we'll look at things on Tuesday and whatever.
don't like
now,
that at
again,
all.
maybe he just didn't know the schedule yet.
He didn't know they play on Thursday night.
There could be that. But the third thing is obviously they're playing at home, which is to their advantage. But you should be in today. But I promise you, the coaches are.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the coaches are watching yesterday's film, and they're saying, okay, I think there's 4 things. And I start above everything else with the way the offensive line's playing.
I would agree with that.
I do not like the way they're run blocking.
Yeah.
Their pass blocking suspect. There's a lot of questions there, and I believe it's the 2 guards.
They're getting beat by 4 personnel up front. They're getting beat by that, and they're not even holding them up. They're getting beat off the line, and that's alarming.
And to me, it's the 2 guards that are struggling the most. I still think the center.
So that's Jonah
is doing
and
pretty no, Jonah's tackling.
no tackle. You're right.
And I understand Beecham came in for
Paris.
I want to say Paris Hilton.
Paris Johnson Jr.
Paris Johnson. But the 2 guards seem to be struggling a lot. Now, when's this Max guy going to be ready to go? Is he, they signed him a month ago now.
You mean not Max? The guy with the knee injury.
Max, I want to call him Max.
Will Hernandez.
Will Hernandez. I want to call him Max Montoya. I played with a guy named Max Montoya, looks like.
Well, I'll say this about Will Hernandez. It's got to be this week, right? Because otherwise, why didn't you have it on IR?
Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise he could sit out the 4 weeks. And
Yeah.
So anyway,
I don't get it.
offensive line is clear-cut my number 1 concern when I'm looking at this offense. And then the rest of them, and then the other 3 can kind of lump together.
Isaiah Adams and Evan Brown.
Yeah, the other 3 kind of lump together. Somehow, some way, you've got to open up this offense to where you can get the ball down the field to wide receivers. But if you don't have time, and to this point, I don't know if you're the offensive coordinator, the head coach, the quarterback, if you feel you have time to stand back there for 4 seconds to look downfield.
Yeah, but do they run crossing patterns to where Kyler can throw it in 2 seconds? Do they run out patterns to the receivers? How many times did the Chiefs run that stupid snap the ball, throw it to Pachenko, 5 yards even or behind, what's his name, Mahomes last night? How many times was that run?
Yeah, but they do that, and they tend to gain yards. The Cardinals have done that a few times and tend to lose yards. I would look again. I saw a little more motion yesterday, which was good.
Yeah, but it was tight end and running backs, not receivers.
There were a couple receiver motions.
Was there? Okay, I missed those then.
They're okay, and now I think it was Marvin Harrison once.
He did, and then Wilson went one time, or a couple times too. You're right. You're absolutely right. I remember those.
So I saw a little bit more of that. But I believe, obviously, Kyler Murray needs to play better. You can't have humongous drops in situations like the Cardinals have had.
I'll put it this way: Kyler Murray did not lose him that game yesterday.
No, he did not. Now he also didn't win it.
No, which is what a Josh Allen, what a Lamar Jackson, those quarterbacks. Kyler Murray's not in that league, folks.
Right. And therein lies the bug, is the fact, or the rub is he is. I agree with you. He's 11 through 15 in the National Football League as far as being a quarterback.
He'll win you some games, he'll lose you some games, and you're gonna end up around 500 with him. Unless
you have an unbelievable running game or your defense is super dominant.
One thing I'm kind of excited about with this James Conner, I know it's hard to say that, but Bam Knight's going to be able to get some playing time now. Now, don't put him in there in third down pass protection and that stuff. Dear God, don't do that. But Bam kind of runs the ball like James Conner does. Get him in there and have him just power into these guys. See what he can do. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Or maybe trade for Cam Scatterboo. Could have taken him in the third.
Is that not the biggest miss by a local team? Like, you can talk Terrell Suggs not coming to the Cardinals all you want, but Cam Scatterboo,
he's going to be a national hero if he stays healthy. Anyway, I digress. I did want to touch on the injury situation.
Yep.
And as soon as I saw, I didn't see the full ending of the play because I turned away. I saw what was happening.
You for being in the NFL on a field where you saw stuff that humans aren't supposed to see, you are a squirmish little dude.
If it happens to me, like, I never minded seeing my blood, ever. Now, when it's somebody else's blood, I get a little squeamish. But when I saw where his foot was, where the player was, and then where his body started to go, I looked away.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is, seriously, and this is honest, when I saw that start to happen, my left ankle started twitching.
You've been in that position.
And I've had a totally dislocated ankle, fractured fibula. I was in surgery within an hour and a half because what they have to do, what the doctors told me, is either we have to do this within the first 3 hours of the injury, or you have to wait till the swelling goes down.
Yeah, it's a blood
yes.
issue. Yeah.
And the swelling is not going to go down for at least 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I literally was in surgery with my football pants still on.
Say you're still dressed.
Football pants still on. They had taken my shoulder pads and jersey and stuff off. But that's how I went into surgery.
Yeah.
And they did it that quick. But what I said on Twitter yesterday in response to you, it's one thing to have surgery. And I never had another issue with it. Okay, to this day, there's still a plate on my fibula.
Did you do that in a game, blocking somebody?
Yes.
Okay.
And my foot got stuck in the grass. I got twisted around, and I never watched it. But anyway,
I'm gonna have to go find that.
It's the rehab that is going to be so fascinating, along with the different position, running backs, cutting, all those things. The trust factor. It took me a good, I would say, year. But at least half a year to have any bit of trust in planting that foot for pass protection or run blocking.
Yeah, because you're not running with it, you're not cutting with it, you're planting it into the ground,
right.
and
but I'm just saying, as a running back, he's got to plant it to cut, and I just that rehab, it's freaking lonely.
And he's
it's
30.
Painful.
And I hate to say it, but he's 30 years old now. He's not in his 20s anymore.
He's not 24 or 25.
Yeah.
And so my thoughts and prayers are with them, because I still remember the cast that they put on and the immense pain because of the swelling and the throbbing and all that. It's agonizing.
Technology has come a long way since.
I hope so. I really hope so. But my goodness, my left ankle still feels.
I haven't done what James Conner did, but I had my right ankle to the point where it was like the size of a basketball and bright purple, and that was the most painful thing I ever experienced. I didn't need surgery. I just needed to, get the swelling down, and then wear a walking boot and recover it that way.
Right.
And it was a pain in the butt, so I couldn't imagine the surgery side. But yeah, and I just wish him the best, and he's the heart and soul of this offense, man. They go by the tough. I think Benson can step up in terms of the running back side of things, but who's going to step up for that toughness side of it? Like Froholt shows it every once in a while on the field. The other offensive linemen just don't. They're just kind of out there. There's no that's why I think they need Will Hernandez out there. Will Hernandez is a mean dude on that football field.
Well, he's one of those guys that can bring that attitude.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's important to get him back out there now. And like I said, and I'm not saying rush him back, but if Will Hernandez isn't playing this week, why
didn't he start on IR?
Why didn't he start on IR? And then that way you can ramp him up for a couple more and things to that effect, because it's just I don't understand the move if that is the case. And their offensive line needs help and to move around from there as well. Before we go to break here, Mercury lose game one of the semifinals yesterday, 82-69. Minnesota Lynx. The Mercury are that team. Well, they're good enough to make it to the semifinals. Now, are they better than the Lynx? I don't think they are. This would be an upset if the Mercury are able to do it. They showed in game one. So we'll have to see again here. But game Tuesday night, 4:30 p.m. at Minnesota as well. The Mercury are the next tier down from those championship caliber teams.
The thing is,
throughout the season.
I've always thought, whether it's when the NBA played the best of 3 or best of 5 series.
This goes back to regular. It's not best of 3 anymore.
But what I'm saying, it's not.
No,
this 7 game or 5
semifinal.
game? 5 game.
I think it's 5.
5. The shorter the series, the more chance the team that is not as talented has a chance to win. You go 7 games, 99.9% of the time, the best team's going to win over a 7-game series. You go 3 games, the team that's not as good can be really, really good for 2 games and win the series. And even a best-of-5 series gives you a chance.
I don't know if I'd say not as talented. The Lynx has more depth and things to that effect. The Mercury has a ton of talent on their team. It's just as a team, I think they're just a step down, in terms of their depth and who can come in and play and stuff like that. So, so game 2 is, I'm looking here, Tuesday night at Minnesota, 4:30 p.m. And then Friday night will be game 3 versus Minnesota, 6:30 p.m. And then it says TBD on Sunday if it's necessary. So
it's the best of 3.
The best of 3 still? I thought they moved to best of. I don't know. They changed it this year, and I should probably. So that's what's going on with look, playoff basketball. It's coming back to PHX Arena again. Dale, been a long time. We've missed you, your old friend. We're not going to see it anytime soon until the Mercury play again next year as well. Come on back, folks. We got Major League Baseball talk real quick. Set up the stage for the Dodgers series here, and then we've got college football. ASU. What's the Baylor fight song? Yeah. They make you learn that when you cut your checks?
The Baylor Bears.
Come on back, folks. The main event. And we're back here. Main event. Diamondbacks off today. Mets off today. Reds off today. Come back to 6 games left. We're in a dogfight here for that final wild card spot. Before we get to that,
Well, hold on. Who's in the dogfight?
the Reds, the Mets, and the Diamondbacks.
Oh, okay. My Diamondback.
Yes, sir. Who cares? It's football season a week and a half ago. Before we get into that, Corbin Carroll, 30-30 club. 30 home runs, 30 steals. First Diamondbacks to hit that club as well. Here's Corbin after the game at the locker room. I saw a bunch of outlets put this out, so I'm not sure where we got this from. But, Channel 10, Channel 12, Channel 3, all those guys all in on this as well. Corbin Carroll talking about this play.
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, it was a goal of mine before the season to hit 30 homers and steal more than 30 bases. So to accomplish some personal goals late in the year is great.
Is it cool that you're the first Diamondbacks player to do so?
Yeah. Gracie said in the broadcast, I thought it was, well said. Like there's been some really good players that have come before me, and so I think just to be the first to do it is great. It's an honor.
You almost seem
Just a humble kid.
shy. Like,
I can tell you I've been in situations with him. He doesn't. I'm going to assume he doesn't like speaking in those situations. He doesn't like it.
well, it's also a tough situation to be in because now your team's 1 game out.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, this personal goal is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he probably went out last night with the day
Yeah.
off.
He came in after his rookie of the year. He hadn't won it yet, but we knew he was going to win rookie of the year, and he came to NASCAR and talked, and it was just an awkwardness. You could just feel it, no matter what question was asked. It was an awkward response,
Right.
And things like that. So I just think he's a shy kid. I don't know what he's like away from that situation, like with his friends or whatever. But that's basically Corbin Carroll that I know him as of every time I've met him, talked to him, and stuff like that. So
Hey,
it's interesting.
before we get wherever you're going next, since you never tell me.
We'll show the National League wild card, and then it's NFL Cardinals, or I'm sorry, ASU. Excuse me.
Okay, well, we're going wherever you want to go. We're not touching on WrestlePalooza. We're not talking about WrestleMania or whatever the hell happened over
First
the
of all,
weekend.
WrestlePalooza?
And whatever the hell happened
Oh
over the
my
weekend.
God, Brock's back, baby.
Huh? And so you like him, but you don't like the other guy that left.
Oh, John Cena, I can't.
Yeah.
stand him. He's still present.
What's
It was,
the
it was
difference?
Brock and Cena. They opened up this match.
They're both the same.
That's the whole reason I had to get the ESPN Unlimited app. I had to spend $30 for it, Dale.
Whoa. Is that a month?
Yes.
What?
Because they don't have a deal with Cox yet, so I can't get it. Stupid. But I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch two wrestling matches. That one, and then of course the Cody Rhodes at the end. That final match also. I wanted to watch both of those two, so I had to buy it. So I had it on in the background. I had it on the backside. It was good. It was fun. Who's good?
Wow.
Indianapolis, of all places.
Okay, so go on to where we're going.
I can spend 2 hours on that if you want. Tomorrow's show, folks, before Bruce comes in, Bruce Cooper shows up. We'll do all WrestlePalooza follow-up for you.
I just heard every TV get clicked off.
Whatever. Our audience would shoot through the roof.
No, they'd shoot.
They'd all be
themselves.
mad at you because of your constant. Yeah, because college football isn't rigged. Did anybody see the Oklahoma-Auburn game where those refs obviously rigging it for Oklahoma
Wow.
multiple times?
Wow.
Diamondbacks are off today, and they got Dodgers for 3. Reds are off today as well. They start with Padres with 3, then at Brewers to finish up their season. Of course, Mets are at Cubs starting tomorrow, off today as well. Then at Marlins for them. Throw up the NL wildcard standings. We set it up here today. Obviously, we'll talk more about this tomorrow. But look at that, Reds and Mets. Isn't that going to be just disappointing when the Diamondbacks catch the Mets and pass them, but then they're still behind the Reds? I know there was a rainout game where the refs didn't call the rain out, left them out there. Gabby got hurt behind the plate, and they should have called that game beforehand. I know that game's out there, but I'm not going to hold that game as the one game up there because there's 27 other blown games that we could point to for the Diamondbacks. So I refuse to do that Reds one specifically.
It used to be, boy, if they would have half those games. Look how comfortable. They
Yeah.
only need a third of them.
They don't even need that. They needed 3 of them.
It's like, are you kidding?
If they had 3 of them, they'd have a 2-game lead on the Reds and the Mets for the final wild card lead right now.
You talk about its season of what ifs.
Yeah, welcome to Torey Lovello's. And Torey Lovello was so enthralled with this season that on Saturday night he had to hold off on his press conference to watch ASU kick the game winner on top of it.
That's a great local guy. I thought you'd say sign him to an extension just because of that.
So that's where we stand. We'll talk more baseball tomorrow. Bruce Cooper joins us, of course, on Tuesdays here. And then ASU gets out there and goes to Baylor. And look, speaking of broken offenses, ASU's offense is Sam Levitt doesn't look comfortable. Sam Levitt doesn't look like he's out there. Jordan Tyson looks like he jumps too early, but he's able to hover in the air for 45 seconds.
What was that? You were getting in a Twitter tussle with somebody.
He jumps and he hovers. Take the extra step, then jump. One of these is going to come down too early and not hover up there to catch it. It does drive me nuts about it, but he comes down with a lot of them. Came down with them big in that point. More importantly, did we find a wide receiver 2 in this game, Dale? I think we did. Here we go. Wide receiver 2.
Have beaten Texas and made it to the semis. Returned 16 players from that team.
61-yard play.
What a bust! Eusebio's got it all the way to the 25.
Eusebio!
Puts the cape on and gets his
Where
team
did he
near
come
the red
from?
zone.
He had a heck of a game.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 2 comes out of nowhere. Moss out, injured as well, so not playing in this game. And look at that. Eusebio, 61-yarder there, gets him up there in order to, be able to eventually take that lead for him out there. Fantastic. They were able to find other receivers. They got, the tight end, 7. I like calling him 7. They got him involved in this game as well. Running backs were able to move the ball around and stuff like that. And then, of course, down, up, able to go down the field and get in field goal range. And Jesus Gomez kicks the game winner. And I don't have that video because I wanted to play.
Cool as the other side of the pillow.
He is so lax, it drives me nuts.
What?
Like, just how he just casually just stands
As long as
there.
he makes them,
I
Steve.
know. Here's Jesus Gomez, the kicker. Wins the game winner here. 27-24 victory by ASU. Here's Jesus Gomez after the game.
I don't think I watched it go through the uprights because I knew it was in, so I just turned and started celebrating. A little bit, but at the end it's another kick. Like I said, I've done it my whole life, so it's just another kick for me.
Kickers are different people, and he's going to be different because he's just like, whatever. It's what I do.
I like that.
It's what I do.
Don't you like that?
I do. It's different. That's why it's kind of makes me giggle. He literally, instead of warming up, was just standing there. The broadcast kept showing him going, oh, what he must be thinking, just standing there knowing this kick might come down to him. And I'm like, he's He's probably thinking about his math homework or something. The guy just doesn't have a care. Then when he goes out there and lines up and like he's ready for the kick, every other kicker's like, and like lining up and then they're like all in the moment. He's just like, all right, snap it when you're ready. Kicks it right
All
there.
he was thinking about was he knows he's going to get a nice meal on the plane home.
I love it though. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Here's the problem: you get 3 turnovers. Baylor. This game shouldn't have been close. The offense for ASU is a serious problem. We just talked about it with the Cardinals.
Yep.
How do you fix this offensive issue that the Arizona State have? Here's Kenny Dillingham after the win. Pretty much that's what I think.
Holy cow. A game that you're up 3-0 in the turnover battle should not come down to a game-winning kick. That's how you sum that one up. But you know what? They don't look at that at the end. They look at wins. They look at losses. Our offense sputtered. Defense picked it up. Defense sputtered. Offense picked it up. And special teams wasn't good. Won it there at the end. Like, man, that's football. Find ways to win in this league. You got to find ways to win. And we'll never win like that again. That exact same way. Got to find another way.
He's not wrong. Gritty win, at the end there. Absolute gritty. On the road. Crowd was crazy there in Waco. I mean, nothing else going on in Waco on a Saturday night other than, killing students or sexually assaulting students, and that type of stuff going on there in Baylor. A bunch of rich kids going there to be doctors and everything.
You see all the freshmen? Did you see the pregame where all the freshmen run onto the field?
I did, yeah.
Kendall did that one time.
One time, and then she was done?
Yeah, so one and done.
A lot of people are like, and I started looking this up. I needed more time because of the Cardinals game yesterday. But people are like, oh, ASU's barely winning these games. Yeah, but Big 12 games are generally close when it's Big 12 on Big 12 matchups, right? Iowa State, Kansas State, a turnover fest, but that was kind of a close game, earlier this year. Going to last year, other than the Big 12 title game, right? ASU pretty much won every game. Like, it was close at the end. Every team in this league beats each other up to get to the end there as well. Texas Tech 34-10 over Utah. It's kind of an anomaly. And just buckle up, folks. This is going to be a close, and we get Texas Tech here. That's good.
Well, that's what Utah said. It's good they're coming here.
Yeah, but we don't have Dan Pierre as the quarterback. I'm done singing his praises.
Wow, last Monday you're singing his praises.
I'm done now, though.
Since sliced bread.
Done.
One game.
Him and that offensive coordinator, they went over there
Wow.
with them. Done with them both, Dale. Done with them both. You gotta figure out what is wrong with these offenses, specifically on ASU, since we're talking that right now. You gotta figure out what's wrong with it and fix it. TCU can put up points. Here's the interesting thing. I saw a lot of people just all throughout the game saying, ASU's defense is trash. ASU's defense is trash. Baylor scores points. They beat SMU because they scored 14 points in the last, 6-7 minutes of that game, forced overtime, and then held them after that. Baylor can score, and you saw it a couple times where a big play would break out. And you're like, uh-oh, here it comes. And ASU's defense was able to hold them down and hold them close on that side. That defense performed as good as admirably as it can. The offense is my worrisome with ASU as it goes on. And then the defense faltered toward the end of the game. That's where the offense kind of woke up and, took them from that point. But Dale, I don't know. That's why these guys make big money. He's got to figure out what the problem is. But I'll tell you this. If Moss comes back and is able to catch some balls, right? Subio, if he can continue to be a receiver in this core, you're going to open up Jordan Tyson. You're going to make it more confident. Did you also notice that ASU didn't come out and just run the ball like I said they should, keep the ball out of Baylor's hands? No, that's not what they did at all. They said, you know what, Steve? Screw you and your thoughts on this game. We're going to do it our way.
Well, they did run the ball 48 times to only 32 passes. Yes. So they, I think they've kind of identified their identity as we're a run-first team.
They need to be.
And again, I think in your mind's eye, you're hoping that Leavitt continues to improve as the season goes along. You're hoping that he plays better, because if your running game if you can run the ball 40 times a game, you're obviously in every game.
Yes. Well,
you have a chance to win the game.
I mean, here's their first drive here, right? This was 14 plays, 45 yards, 5 minutes, 44 seconds off the clock. 14-yard run, 4-yard run, 2-yard run, 5-yard run, 1-yard run, incompletion. By the way, a lot of those runs, I hate to say it, several of them were Sam Levitt as well, right? Then you got the incompletion. Then you got the 10-yard penalty. This team in penalties, man, it's going to be their downfall.
Yeah.
It's going to be. Then they have the 5-yard run, 3-yard run, 8-yard run as well. Then a 5-yard penalty there as well. That was the false start penalty. 2-yard run, then incompletion, and then incompletion, and then the field goal attempt there. Yeah, so I mean, but it was like, come out, set up the domination, and go. Then the next one was 6 plays, 23 yards. 12-yard run, 11-yard pass, incomplete, 3-yard run, minus 6-yard pass, a 3-yard run, and then punt. The negative plays and the penalties they're just going to kill this team. And I don't think you can solve that as the season goes on. I'm just a guy that believes that's the team you are and you don't. Now, can you stop big ones from happening and big moments? Sure. But it's going to be a big penalty team, and I don't understand why this has crept in. This is a veteran team. Didn't have this problem last year. Why all of a sudden now are we seeing all the penalties happen?
The thing that I look at when you talk about those, like
7 for 70, by the way.
ASU is trying so hard to get the ball to Jordan Tyson
Yes.
that sometimes there are a couple passes. I mean, the ball and the receiver met the defensive back the second that the receiver touched it.
Yes.
And some of those plays are scary. Now, again, as an offensive coordinator, as an ASU fan, yes, you want to get the ball in Jordan Tyson's hand. Usually good things happen when you put the ball in Jordan Tyson's hands, other than you naysayers and negative Nancys who, he jumps too early.
He does. He jumps too early. You shouldn't have to levitate to catch a ball.
I looked at that on Twitter. I'm like, what are these knuckleheads talking about?
Jumps too early. Drives me nuts.
The things, the purse lips of Jonathan Gannon, Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, but once I pointed out his body motion after that, and you saw it, you were like, you know what, you're right. I just want to say, and you have to admit, Jordan Tyson jumps a little early.
Oh my! One day I just need to be a fly on the wall at the McCollum household watching the game for the nonsense you look for.
7 penalties, 70 yards for ASU. Now Baylor had 7 for 86, but here's my problem, right? You win the turnover battle 3-0.
Yeah.
Possession 36 minutes 24 cents. We talked about this at the Cardinals game. Baylor 23-36 on that side. This should be a dominating win for this team, not a last-second field goal walk-off. They total yards 400 for ASU, 367 for Baylor. Third down efficiency, though, 6 for 16. Baylor was 5 of 12. They were 2 for 3 on fourth down. Baylor was for them. ASU was 1 for 2 from that side. It's just, 221 passing yards, 179 rushing yards. That's good enough to get you the win. But you're not going to win a shootout in that point. And if you look at it, right, Baylor, they were able to stop Baylor from getting in that shootout, which is great. Can you stop Texas Tech from getting in that shootout and those types of teams?
Hold on.
In Iowa State, when you get to those points?
Who cares about them? You better worry about TCU. The Horned Frogs are coming to town, Steven.
They got this.
Did I get one college game right?
You got Oklahoma right.
That's the only one?
Yeah, Kobe, go ahead. He wants to see it again. That's all that means.
Oh, did you show it?
Yeah, he showed it at the beginning of the thing. We
Oh,
talked
that's
about
right.
it.
I saw the Utah thing.
Speaking of weekends.
Steve, I'm a professional. I pick professional games. You can
ASU
say
had 26 first downs, 18 for Baylor in this game. It's the same. We have 2 teams here, Dale. 2 teams that can command the ball, go on long drives, and then just not score on the other end to put the team away. It's amazing. ASU, 14 plays, 45 yards was their first drive for that field goal. 6 plays, 23 yards, 3 minutes, 9 seconds for the punt there. That was the first quarter. Second quarter, where they went on that 13 play, 83 yards, 6 minutes, 15 seconds for that touchdown. 3 plays, 2 yards for minute 18 there on a punt. End of the half, they were 2 plays, 3 yards, 46 seconds into the half. 10-10 ball game. Then they come out and punt the ball right away. 5 plays, 21 yards, 221. Then they got the field goal. 8 plays, 27 yards, 336 for them to go up 13-10. Then 10 plays, 60 yards. And they turned it over on downs here, 5:55. I did think they should kick the field goal in that moment. They went for it and didn't get it. It's still 13-10 game, especially with the way the game was going. Then they get that interception off of Baylor. Then they get a field goal drive, 5 plays, 21 yards, 147, 16-10 at that point off of the turnover. Yes, you get points off the turnover, which to me, I think you have to do to win a game is you should score off of turnovers. It hurts the other team beyond ways I wouldn't believe. But then Baylor goes down and scores that touchdown. 7 plays, 84 yards, 3 minutes, 22 seconds to go up 24-17. Of course, Baylor goes down and scores. And then I kept going, no cover zero. No cover zero. And what happens? Baylor receiver gets behind the defense again. Now, it wasn't a cover zero, but Baylor receiver gets behind. You have to keep them out of the end zone, Dale. And the receiver gets behind everybody and is able to catch a ball. It baffles my mind. Then, of course, the 11-play, 49-yard field goal here. They can put together long drives. It's the finishing of the drives that's the question mark on this team. We have 2 offenses that are struggling here in football land.
There's more than just the offensive question with ASU, but tell me this, as we sit here on a Monday, things still fresh on your mind. Who are you more concerned about?
Cardinals. You don't think so? I also am the guy that doesn't think. I think ASU is going to compete for a Big 12 championship, but they're losing 2-3 games this year. I've said that all off season and going into this year. They're going to take a quote unquote step back from last year going into this. Yeah, just with their schedule and who they play on the road and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm expecting it to come still. You think you're more worried about ASU? Because I don't think ASU's problems, a lot of it's not play calling. It's just a comfortable quarterback. It's getting their running game going and things like that. Whereas with the Cardinals, there's a whole host of concerns on the Cardinals.
I would say I'm more
offense.
concerned about the Cardinals.
So if you fix the offensive line, now you got to fix the running game. Then you got to fix the receivers catching the ball. And you got to fix the play calling in certain situations. It's just ASU, it's like Sam Levitt's just got to figure out where to put the ball and put it there. ASU doesn't have receivers dropping balls. ASU's running game's not terrible. They're getting some yardage, right? And things to that effect.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say less worried about ASU. I'm more worried about ASU's competition.
You got Seattle coming to town, Steve.
I'm worried about Thursday night. Here's the nice thing about the way the Cardinals lost that game to Mac Jones of all people. Oh my God! First of all, Wilson Sr.'s hit on Christian McCaffrey on that one drive. Oh my God, that was the most beautiful thing. I can't believe the NFL didn't flag him for that, just because of the nature of the NFL these days. Even McCaffrey stood up and was like, "You're not supposed to hit me like that. What the heck?" But I'm worried about the good news is it's Thursday, so you can kind of wash that game and the disappointment out a little bit quicker. But Seattle can score some points, man. And this might be. Everybody was anticipating the Cardinals being 6-0. I wasn't, but I know a lot of people were. To come back to be 2-2 after this stretch would be not a good thing, especially in this division with who's ahead of you and stuff like that. It is a worrisome thing to see. More worried about the Cardinals. I'm panicking about the Cardinals. I don't know if they'll get to that 9-win, 10-win season I have them penciled in for. They'll be all right. They'll be all right. Dable, maybe we can get Dable here when he gets fired from the Giants, and maybe they can get Drew Petzing as the Giants head coach.
How about Dabo Sweeney?
God, you see him almost crying.
And wouldn't you?
You cannot go into the game talking, I'm a winner. If you don't want me to win, get rid of me. And then after the game, be like, oh, we're broken. We suck.
Hey, if I know I got $50 million coming either way,
That's the thing.
I'd
Yeah.
rather go hang out in Coronado like Bud.
If you didn't see that, his buyout this year 60. It's like 50 something next year, and then 40 something the year after that. Dabo Sweeney. If I'm Tate Reynolds, I'm rethinking that football thing over there at Clemson. And then did you see the quarterback after the game, the Heisman Trophy guy he's not in it
Klubnik?
now? Yeah, Klubnik. He after the game was complaining that they were cheating basically. Oh, that's not a good look. When your start quarterback starts complaining the other team's cheating and doing that stuff. Not a good look at all for around the Syracuse. They're feeling the heat.
In Clemson.
At Clemson. And you know what? I'm all right for it. I'm here for it, to be honest with you. They need to be just knocked down a little bit, in my opinion. Just a little bit. Hey, did you see Iowa scored a ton of points? What the heck was that? Who was that Iowa team?
I didn't. I don't care.
Friday night. They scored a lot of points. I didn't watch it either. It was Rutgers. We'll be back tomorrow. Bruce Cooper joins us tomorrow, of course, around 8:30 for the show. Dale might be back. He's tired of,
Bruce better bring it tomorrow because I have a feeling he's come up with something stupid again.
If he doesn't blame Drew Penzing, then pick who you want to blame on the Cardinals. And stick with it. Quit moving stuff around.
Stick with it.
Stop moving stuff around. We'll be back tomorrow, folks. McCollum on Business at 11. See you then, everybody. Have a good one.